Yay! How's everyone doing? Super excited to be here and to share with you how to get consistent sales without all the complicated strategies. So no funnels, no Facebook ads, no more masterclasses, and you can say goodbye to those sleepless nights stressing and wondering where the heck your next sale is coming from. So if you're around, join me, and I'm going to share with you how what you've been taught about how to get more sales is actually preventing you from getting more sales and then what you can do instead, and how my process I lead my clients through is what will help you get consistent sales, because it is all about your unique design, your unique gifts. And most often issues come up in business, in particular when you're disconnected from that. So I'm going to walk you through what that looks like and how I do that with my clients. But then initially, I'm just going to start with what you might be experiencing and why. So if you have had this experience, believe me, I've been there, and I'll share some of my stories. It's super annoying where you just find that more often than not, you're thinking about where the heck your next sale is going to come from. And that is like the most just unsettling feeling. It creates a lot of stress. It puts your brain into survival mode, which is when you start to get cut off from your creativity. So it's not a good thing. Or you're in that place where you're just like, you're over just the up and down. You want it to just continue to grow at a pace that is sustainable for you and allows you to grow with it. And there's a part of you that knows that, sales are natural and that you have a natural way of connecting with people and that it doesn't need to be so complicated. And there's also a part of you that knows that there is something special about you and what you do and how you do your work. And it's just not coming through in your marketing. And so you're not attracting the types of clients you want, which of course affects your sales. So if you are done getting twisted up in knots, being anxious and being stressed, this is for you. So many times, what you've probably heard from other coaches is all the strategies, of course, right? If you want more sales, you need to create another masterclass. You need to create another freebie. You need to be reaching out more often. You need to be posting more often. You need to do more videos. It's all about more work, right? Which leads to those sleepless nights. So what's really going on here is much different, and it's much deeper, because if you've been around my world at all, you know that my work, we go deep. My background is in psychology. I have a master's in communication. I've taught at the university level for almost a decade about self-awareness and identity and how all the things that we do, where it all comes from, basically, our upbringing, our experiences, our socialization, our programming, and how that really is what's driving us, and how to go in and start to change that, and how all of that is coming through, of course, in our communication. And it particularly comes through in your communication when you're an online entrepreneur, online coach, because most of what you do is communication. You're getting your message out there, wanting to attract the right clients. You're on sales calls, wanting to enroll clients into your practice, and then you're on coaching calls. And if you do not have this right, you are not going to be a good coach. Your clients aren't going to get results. You're not going to be attracting the right kind of clients that can get results in the first place. So this is critical to go deep and to really master this, because what everyone else is telling you about, you need to just fix your marketing, your copy, your funnel, your masterclass, all that stuff. You can have all of that perfect and you still can be experiencing ups and down sales or just dry spells, because like I said, it's much, much deeper than that. Hi, Jelly, Dewey. Okay, so when you are, following what many other coaches tell you, often what happens, I'm going to share two things that can be happening here. One thing could be that you are using someone else's system or model. So it feels safer. You just have to follow what they say, follow their formula, follow their script, even on sales calls. But what happens when you do this, of course, this whole thing is about how connecting with your gifts and what is unique about you and how you see the world is what is going to lead to sales. So obviously, when you're using someone else's system or model, obviously you're disconnected from your gifts. You're disconnected from how you naturally connect with people, how you naturally see the world in your unique perspective and how you guide your clients. So when you're using someone else's system or model, obviously you feel like a fraud. You have the classic imposter syndrome, which makes sense because it's not your system. Of course you're going to feel like an imposter or like a fraud. And the other thing that can happen here is that you just are bored. Like it doesn't connect with you because it's not you. It's not your system. It's not your model and not your design. And both of these things, feeling like a fraud or just being just bored and not wanting, because of that system, of course, is not connected to you, to who you are and how you naturally operate. Both of these will lead you to not even wanting to sell, even though you're actively pursuing sales. So, because what happens here is it comes through in your marketing. Like I can read into what the actual words say, and I've been doing this a lot, and I can see beyond the words, and you can tell something is there, and your clients are picking up on it that you don't really want to sell. And I'll talk more about this. The other thing, because these are layered, is if maybe you have your own system and you're not using someone else's, so you don't have that issue of maybe feeling like a fraud or feeling like an imposter, but you are so focused on all the external things. You are obsessed about your copy, about using the right strategy, about refining your message, about having the right offer. And all of these, of course, are important, don't get me wrong, but like I mentioned before, these can be perfect and you can still struggle to get sales. And the root of this, like I mentioned, is deep. And the cause is really you're disconnected from your unique gifts, your unique wiring. And when you're disconnected from your unique gifts and your unique wiring, it creates distrust in yourself and doubt in yourself. And that is what your clients are picking up on, prospective clients are picking up on through your copy. So even if you have phenomenal copy, like I said, and it's perfect, that distrust within yourself is coming through, it's bleeding through your copy. And that is what your clients are picking up on. So either you're not going to attract clients because they don't trust you because you don't trust you, or you'll attract clients who also don't trust you, so they don't do the work, or they'll want a refund, or they'll be a real pain in the butt and super demanding. How this also shows up, this distrust and doubt, and I have seen this a lot lately, is that you don't say anything different. Like your posts, your offer, your message, it's the same as what every other coach is saying. You're saying the exact same thing. And what's happening here is that you're not taking a stand. You're not differentiating yourself. You're very vague and general in what you're saying in your posts. And because of that, why would anyone want to work with you over anyone else? Then you're just going to have to differentiate yourself like many coaches do, just on personality or just on lifestyle or just on your story. And that's not enough, again, to get the kind of high quality clients if you desire high quality clients. Because when you're not differentiating yourself, what you're showing is that you're not willing to take a stand on how you do things, why you do things that way, and what your clients get working with you. And that deeper level understanding is how you're going to attract higher level clients, because those are the clients that want to connect to the intellect. They want to understand, why does it work? And why do you do it that way? And how does it work? They don't just want the candy, right? The like fancy car and the fancy lifestyle without any, because you can have that, but if you don't do any of the internal work, it's going to go away. It's not going to last. Or it's going to keep you in that cycle of having like what I call the shopping and hopping, where you're shopping for a coach out of that place of desperation or super emotion where you're not connecting to the intellect and you see, oh, the fancy car or the fancy lifestyle or the, cute personality. And so when you're shopping from that place, you're obviously going to hire a coach who is not the right coach for you. And then what ends up happening is you just hop from coach to coach to coach. And I did this in the beginning, and I don't recommend it. That's why I'm here, to help you not do that. Is that, I went from, I think one of my first coaches was all about, having to get your email campaign, having to do lead magnets. Then I worked with a coach who was about, I think she was all about the shadow. And there was another one I worked with that was all about NLP and mindset. Another one was all about energy and tapping. So I was just hopping around from different coaches thinking that, maybe it's this thing, maybe it's my shadow, or maybe it's I need to do tapping, or maybe it's I need to, do past life regression timeline. I mean, it was like, of course, it's, shopping and hopping doesn't work, because it's like, you have to think about the energy with which you are looking for support. When you're looking from a place of emotion and desperation and like running to run away and thinking someone outside of you has the answer, someone outside of you has the fix, the secret formula, you're not going to find it. So really, it's about coming back to, a place of connecting with someone, seeing how they do the work, why they do it that way, connecting intellectually through the brain and logic, and thinking about, what are the traits that person has, and what is their business model? And is it similar to how you want to run your business and what you desire for your business? And being able to make an informed decision versus a decision out of desperation or out of survival or out of, needing to run away from yourself. Because of course, anytime you're seeking that external, that's when what the root is, of course, is that you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself to find the right coach for you and to have the internal resolve to do the deeper work. So kind of on a tangent there. But so what's happening, of course, in all of this is this lack of confidence. Even if you are like naturally a confidence person, this distrust will come through as a lack of confidence in your copy and in your videos. So again, you're attracting either clients who don't do the work, who are a pain in the butt, or who want refunds, who drop out halfway through. And I worked with a coach like this. I can't tell you how many people dropped out of that program because, and also the reason people were drawn to her, and I can acknowledge for myself and be fully transparent with you, the reason I was drawn to her was it was really flashy. She had, had this like incredible leap. And so she was attracting people that wanted to do that incredible leap, but not necessarily willing to do the deep work. So many people within a month, even less, were dropping like flies out of her program. So she would say she had this incredible, huge sales month, but I would say half of those people ended up not completing. So the actual sales month was probably half that, which maybe was still good, but she's not telling you that part of the story, which a lot of coaches don't tell you that part of the story, or that all you see is their amazing numbers. You don't see how many of those numbers stay, and you don't see how many of those people actually get results. I would say like 1%, perhaps, a lot of times, which is not okay. I'm not okay with that. That's not okay in my world, and it's not okay in my practice. Okay, so how do you change this? Because this has to change. This is my commitment to you, to my work, to the world, that this has got to change. This trend in the coaching world of sort of, what do they call it? Like the bait and switch, like get in and then you don't get anything, but thank you for your money. It's got to go away, because there has to be, for me in my work, what I'm committed to is you have to get results. That's why you signed up with someone. And for me in my work, how we do that is, like I mentioned, we're going deep. And getting deep means you're becoming aware of your gifts in a different way, because we can't see our gifts on our own. We're not designed to see our own brilliance. I've shared this before. It's like, when you're a fish, you don't know you're in water. It's all you know. And a lot of times what you might think are your gifts are what you're good at. And this isn't necessarily your gifts. I've seen so many people do things that they were good at, but those things made them miserable. I had a woman years ago who I met with who everyone told her, she was an amazing baker and she should start her own bakery and awesome. And she was miserable when she did it. So just because you're good at it doesn't mean it's good for you. And so that's the other thing you want to be cautious of having the right mentor, because you don't want to be with someone that's like, oh, well, you're really good at this, you should do that. That's not always the case, which again is why it's so important to go deep. I can't stress that enough. So with my process, we explore your current model of the world and where did that come from? And I notice that I pick up on that through what you naturally share with me. So how did you come to perceive yourself and your work in the way that you currently perceive yourself and your work? And that, of course, is contributing to those up and down sales or those dry spells. And we look at that through, of course, your past experiences. And through that, you start to become aware of your gifts. Your gifts start to be revealed through, what those experiences led you to, what you were naturally drawn to, how that shifted your perspective and how you see the world differently because of those past experiences. And then we really explore even deeper, like your natural style of connecting, because that is your natural style of selling. And it's different for everyone. So, if your natural style of connecting, for example, maybe it's through videos and you're not doing videos and you're thinking that you have to just write all the time and you don't like writing, of course, it's going to come through in your writing. That's not really who you are. And vice versa with videos. If you hate videos and you love writing, you need to really shift it. So you're working from your strengths and your gifts, not from your shoulds, which many people do, unfortunately. So, and the important thing here is connecting to your gifts with a deeper level of understanding so that you see how they are integral to the work you do with your clients. And then you're able to start to shift, sourcing your identity from within. So you stop that external search for proof, validation, acceptance, approval, belonging, all those things that are outside of you that will never give you enough. It has to come from within. And when you design your business from within, that's when things change. That's when your marketing changes, your sales changes, the types of clients that you attract change, your whole business model changes, because what happens is there's no comparison. There is no imposter syndrome. There's no feeling like a fraud, because it's you. You're tapped into your natural style of connecting and selling, your natural style of operating and your natural perspective on the world, and your natural style of transformation, because not everyone leads people or their clients to transformation in the same way, and they're not leading their clients to the same type of transformation. So it's coming from that place. And when you come from that place, it's a different level of confidence. It's a different level of knowing. And that is way more important than your copy, than your messaging, than your offer. That is where everything starts. And that's where everything is able to grow in a way that's sustainable and intelligent and enjoyable. Because your natural state is one of abundance and creativity. So if you're operating out of survival, out of protection, which is what happens when you're not sleeping, working all the time, not eating well, not taking care of your body, you're operating from that place of there's not enough, there's not enough, there's not enough, and you got to get more and you better do more. And when you're doing that, that's when you know you're not operating from your gifts either, because it's not your natural way of operating. And when you do this, when you work with someone that allows you to go deep and to see your gifts in a different way and to elevate those gifts and to really be leading and running your business from those gifts, that's when you have the courage to take a stand, to stake your claim and how you work and how you guide your clients, why you guide your clients that way, and why that matters. And that's when you attract the exact clients who want that type of support, because not everyone wants that type of support. And again, this is way, way, way more important than your copy and your strategy. So in my process, we move from that initial how you perceive yourself, how you perceive your work, to boundaries and communication, because I can tell by the way that you share what's happening, what's going on in your relationships, And when we change how we communicate in relationships, that changes your boundaries. And when we change your boundaries, that changes your behavior. When you change your behavior, that cycles back to change your perception, which then changes your brain so that you're operating differently. And that changes, of course, how you show up in your business, in your marketing, in your copy, in your offer, in your message, in your videos, and your sales calls, and your coaching calls. Everything changes. And that's the sweet spot. And of course, if we could do this on our own, we all would have done this already, and we'd all have, incredible businesses and incredible relationships, incredible bodies, there'd be no issues. But we are designed to grow in relationship, in working with someone that can see us in ways that we can't see ourselves, and to see our gifts in ways that we can't see them. So that's why it's so important. And I can't stress this enough. And I talked about this the other day. It's so important to find the right mentor and to look for a mentor in the right space. And it does depend on what you want. If you want that deeper level sustainable growth and you want to continue to grow as a leader, as a business owner, as a coach, it's going to be a different type of mentor that you want versus someone that just wants help with their funnels. So you want to really match, again, how are they running their business? What traits do they have that you admire? And how do you see them helping you? And is it the type of help that you want, that you think will help you get to consistent sales, to higher level clients? So for me, traits that I look for in my clients, and also, of course, my mentor, is you have to be a go-getter. You have to be open to seeing things differently, to new perspectives, to being challenged. You have to be courageous and bold, and you have to want that deeper level growth and understanding, because you want long-term growth, that you're not in this for a year, for 6 months, you're in this for life. This is your calling. And so that means, of course, you want to be attracting clients who want that longer term growth, that want to stay with you, clients that want to stay with you for, maybe years, because they know that they want to continue to grow their business, and they want to continue to raise their fees, and they want to continue to really serve at higher levels and evolve as a leader. So if that sounds like you, I would love to talk to you, and we could jump on a call and I could show you exactly what you need to shift so you could start bringing in sales in a way, again, that comes naturally to you, that's allowing you to design your business your way, so that you're getting the type of support that not only allows you, of course, to really change how you're operating your business, but how you're also operating in your relationships, which includes not only your coaching relationships, but also, your relationships with your partner, with your family. And how I work with my clients is we are in communication. Communication is key. So in between sessions, we're in communication, making sure that you have the support you need, because, a lot can happen in a week. So you're not going to go a week without any support. And I wanted to share a few things that I wrote down. One of the things that has been coming up a lot for my clients is this idea, like I talked about, with you might be good at it, but it might not be good for you. So it's asking yourself, and this is from another mentor of mine, is, are you willing to disappoint another in order to be true to your soul? So just because someone thinks you're good at something and thinks you should do something, are you willing to disappoint them in order to be true to your soul? Because you being true to your soul is the best gift you can give the world, to yourself, to the world, to your family, to anyone. I am seeing if there's another one I wanted to share. Okay, I don't think so. I think that was the one that stood out. Okay. Right. Okay, so if you are ready to grow your business intelligently and sustainably and enjoyably, and are tired of stressing about where your next sale is gonna come from and all the ridiculous strategies that everyone thinks you need to follow, book a call with me. Just send me a DM and we can get started right away, because now's the time. You might as well, end 2020 on top and start 2021 at the very top, because you're only going to go up from there. There's no other way to go. Guarantee it. All right. I will talk to you all soon. Let me know if you have questions. Of course, I'd love to hear from you if you watch this on the replay. Any questions you might have, any ahas, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye.